Hey everybody, Tanya here. Welcome to another episode. For today's project, I will be making over this vanity for a very special young lady. So my good friend Tina gave me the link where this was posted, and my daughter and I went to pick it up, and it turns out this is the one we picked to make over for Tina's granddaughter, Breana. So Breana, this one's for you. To begin with, I need to remove all the hardware as well as the hinges from the door. Then I'll be giving it a good cleaning. I'll be using Gorilla wood filler for these holes. Since I will be painting this piece, I'm going to take out my Surf Prep sander and give it a good scuff. Once that wood filler is dry, I'll be sanding that nice and smooth. Next, I'll need to put on a couple of coats of primer. Every coat of primer and paint will get a light sanding to knock down any bumps. Then we move right into a couple of coats of white paint. So here I'm working on the top of the lid. Breana's colors are pink and green, and so I've just mixed some light and dark green and as well as some light and dark pink. I'm just kind of pouring it randomly over the top, and then I'm going to take my airbrush with an empty hopper. I just use it as an air compressor to kind of push the paint around to get a certain look. It really wasn't turning out the way I was picturing, so I just ended up taking a paper towel and dabbing the excess paint off. It turned out to be kind of a garden tie-dye look, which she ended up loving. So here I have some green gilding polish, and you can apply it with a tiny brush or just use your finger. I'm just gonna lightly smooth it on with my finger on these ridges. Even though this was a surprise, her grandma did ask her about her room colors and how she wanted to decorate, and she said pink, green, and wildflowers. So we came across this transfer, and I'm just gonna slap it on there, and then you take this rubbing tool, you just kind of go over it and start peeling it back, and the artistic part will stick to your surface. Well, I'm somehow missing the footage, but these drawers are painted pink, and now I just need to measure and drill the holes for the new hardware. On the bottom half of this piece, I used the green gilding polish along the ridges, and now I'm just going along the edges of the lid portion with some pink. Give it a little variation. So I've mixed my epoxy resin and now I'm just dumping it on the entire surface of the top of the lid. I'll go over it with my torch to take care of any air bubbles, and then it'll sit overnight to cure. Next, we had the lid dropped off at a glass shop and had them install this beautiful mirror. Now I'm going to be doing some decoupage with this decorative paper for part of my design process. So I'm just marking it evenly, and then I took some craft scissors and cut strips. For the decoupage, I just take my Mod Podge and spray the back of my paper and adhere it to the front of this drawer. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go all the way across with the strips, and then I'm going to go across the opposite way to create this lattice design. I've sprayed the back of the paper, and then after applying it I spray the front and then dab off the extra glue. Here I'm moving on to the insides of the drawers. I have a variety of plaid paper designs. I've cut them into squares, and again I'm just spraying the back of the paper, applying it to the surface, and then you spray the front, dab off the excess, and let it dry overnight. This creates a very beautiful and satisfying look. So after it dries overnight, I'm just going in and feeling for any corners that might not be completely adhered. Just add a little more glue. This is a glue water mixture in a different bottle. I had run out of the Mod Podge the night before. So just making sure all the little corners are down flat. Next, you just take a sanding sponge and go against the edge there and keep grinding away at it, and it ends up creating this really sharp edge. Next, I cover the decoupage work with a few coats of shellac. A really good way to clean up tarnished or corroded metal is tinfoil plus baking soda and add boiling water. You let it soak, and I came back later and started scrubbing it, and all the gunk was just falling off, and this beautiful metal underneath was shining through. So I was really excited to see it nice and cleaned up. So after scrubbing the door hinge, it's time to reinstall it. The chair that her grandma chose to go with her vanity was a quick, easy assembly. So here is what I decided to do for the inside. I'm using this lattice type stencil. I'm lightly putting on some gold paint. Later I do add some pink and green for accents to kind of tie the whole piece together. It ended up looking really nice. course, this step had to be repeated several times. So over the stenciled area, I then lay down this vinyl sticker. Next, in order to personalize it, I went in with some stenciled lettering, but it just didn't look complete enough, so I decided to fill it in with some cloud-like stencil for background, and then I decided to do gold leafing for the letters of the name. And for gold leafing, you just take the adhesive, brush it in, and next we're going to take the gold leaf that just sticks on top of it. So after the adhesive has dried for about 15 minutes, you want it to be a little tacky but not too wet. You take your gold leaf and you just simply place it on top of where the adhesive has been applied, and take your brush, and as you're brushing away the excess gold leaf, it has this magical way of just sticking where it needs to stick, and the remainder just kind of brushes away, and it's a very satisfying experience. If you need therapy, I suggest go and gold leaf something because it's amazing. I'm doing the same process of gold leafing on the feet. So I'm just applying the adhesive with a little brush. Then I will be applying the gold leaf and brushing off the excess, and it just attaches itself, becomes nice and smooth, and the excess just wipes away. Here we have this little area between the body and the legs, which is also going to get some gold leaf loving. After removing the protective tape, it did chip the paint just a tad, so I had to go back in and touch that up. This is not painter's tape, it's masking tape, and it just doesn't work as well. But I was out of the painter's tape, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Final step for gold leafing is to add a top coat of varnish. Next thing I did was add these rubber bumpers for the lid to have a nice soft landing. So to add one final touch, I'm using these powdered pigments. You just take a little brush and kind of paint them in on your silicone mold, and it's going to add some color. So when I mix my epoxy, I'm going to kind of drizzle it in there. I'm just creating a mold of a rose, and that's going to be a little personal touch for Breana. So just to freshen up the sides of the drawers, I'm giving it a quick sand and then a few coats of shellac. Oh, and you don't want to forget the wood lubricant for the bottoms of the drawers. So here we are at the end, the finished product. I love it. I'm very proud of it. I think it turned out beautiful, and I'm learning some things along the way. I do learn every single project I do. I'm learning something new and making mistakes and having to go back and fix them, and it's just an amazing process and learning for me. And this is just very near and dear to my heart, because for a young lady to have a special piece like this just means a lot to me, to be able to be involved and making it happen. And Breana, this is a reminder that for you to know that you are beautiful, you are loved. Your grandma and I had a great time talking about this and putting it together, putting our ideas together, and just had a great time. So thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for more vanities. I'm really into this vanity thing, so there will be more to come. All right, until next time, take care.